Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing one of the best new sports watches of 2019, launched at SIHH. This is the Cartier Santos Chronograph. Stainless steel, it's a broad, one might even say vintage tonneau case that is a thoroughly modern sports watch. So this is a wonderful blend of the imagery of the world's first pilot's watch, and the Santos was Cartier's first wristwatch of any kind, but also a modern sports style chronograph, and the watch seamlessly blends the two on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. The tonneau case is nicely arced. As you can see, the lugs are dropped and draped around the edge of the wrist, so ergonomically this one's a good match for a small wrist, even though it's quite a large watch. In terms of thickness, well, it simply isn't. 12.7 millimeters means it's only half a millimeter thicker than a Rolex Daytona. It'll absolutely fit underneath the cuff if you must. Across the case, from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, not including crown, chronograph pusher, or crown guards, the watch is 40.5 millimeters, and then if you were to measure it lug to lug across the wrist, it measures a manageable 51.5, but again, consider the shape of the lugs just as much as the distance across the wrist. I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference, just because of the size of the lug to lug dimension and the shape of the lugs. It's that draped look, ergonomic excellence. Now what you have here is a strap that's designed to evoke the same integrated aesthetic as the Santos bracelet. You can see it features a billowing set of gadrons as it abuts the case. There are actually little pieces of hardware inserted to give you the look of the bolted Santos bezel and Santos bracelet. You can see those bolts are nicely designed to correspond and complement those of the bezel. Now it tapers considerably. It's a lovely matte finish, so it doesn't glare. Let's give ourselves a bit more light here. You can see how rapidly it thins out, so it's extremely supple and comfortable against the wrist. And then you have the latest iteration of a deployant clasp that's been in circulation for well over a century, inspired by Louis Cartier's own 1909 deployant clasp, which was the world's first ever for a wristwatch. This design's still going strong. Now you can see it's been upgraded a little bit with twin trigger release for the sports watch application. This clasp, I should say, is usually a friction fit. Triggers here give you an extra measure of security. And then there's a system that essentially tucks all excess length underneath the strap, so you keep that integrated clean aesthetic. You don't have minder loops on the opposite side of the strap, nor do you have any excess length visible when the watch is sized down on the wrist. Turn the case over real quick. You can see there's not a whole lot going on the case back, although it does promise that you're getting an automatic watch that's 100 meters water resistant, and this is true. That said, there's also a lovely feature, the quick switch lug system, allowing you to quickly cycle between strap options, and you can easily and without tools swap straps or bracelets on the Santos Chronograph. You'll also note that the lug shape is lovely, in addition to being ergonomically agreeable for smaller wrists. There's a wonderful confluence of matching forms. You can see the slope of the molded strap. You can see the slope of the lugs and that lovely circumferential polished bevel. Then you can also see there's the arc of the case, and there's a new design which came out with the 2018 Santos, which instead of having a more or less rounded square as a bezel, has a bezel that tapers off and flows down in waterfall fashion down to match the shape of the lug hoods. It's a lovely look. The dominant finish of the case is satin, and that's for the DLC bezel as well as for the case flanks. The shear guard for the crowns, nicely tapered, as you can see, with polished tops. It's a 7-sided crown, and it features a little spindle inside, which is basically a synthetic mineral that's designed to look like a blue sapphire, and that's a longtime Cartier style signature. One feature I want to call out is the twin pusher chronograph that cops the look of a mono pusher. You can only see one chronograph pusher, and it's at 9 o'clock, but you have a reset trigger that's coaxial with the crown, so you can reset and restart. So it's a mono pusher with the cleanliness of a mono pusher aesthetic, but it also gives you the ability to stop and restart, unlike a mono pusher. Now you can see the dial is a silver satin, and I'm going to do my best to pick this up, but some of the qualities of this dial don't show too well on camera. There's a nice cutout, a little bit of an evacuation to the center dial. It's square and vertical satin finished, so it has almost a stainless steel style brushed finish from top to bottom. You have the stylized Cartier Roman numerals arrayed outboard, and you can see that this is a loomed watch. More on that in a moment, with all of the hands loomed. A nice consideration for those who believe a chronograph should be visible even as the watch is visible at night. Date down at 6 o'clock, there is a quick set. The watch also features a stop seconds function, and you can see scooped and evacuated registers, with the dominant registers being chronograph hours and chronograph minutes. Cartier's secret signature in the V of the Roman numeral 7 down at 7 o'clock. Under the case back, we have a manufacture movement. Truth be told, it's built by Cartier, but it was developed by Richemont's Val Fleurier area movement manufacturer. So Val Fleurier is basically the movement specialist for Richemont brands that aren't traditionally manufacturers. They designed this movement, Cartier builds it. What is it? Well, it's Cartier 1904 CHMC, automatic winding, 48-hour power reserve, 28/8 beat rate, stop seconds, and a quick set date. It is a 35 joule movement. It features a column wheel for crisp actuation, so you can feel and hear the chronograph as it jumps into action. Chronograph feel is light but crisp and positive, and then there's also a vertical clutch, so you can see how it starts without any stagger or jump. The seconds hand simply commences. There's no play in a vertical clutch. And I should mention, if you like to have center seconds, with a vertical clutch there's no additional wear and tear on the mechanism if you just leave it running. So you can certainly do that and enjoy ease of access to your seconds, your minutes, and your hours. As I said, one of the best new sports watches of 2019, and priced under $9,000 as pictured. This is an awesome buy, especially pre-owned. See it and live the Cartier dream on the watch box. The fully loomed dial of the Cartier Santos chronograph.